welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful week and you're ready to talk gadgets. In this Gadget Report, we are talking about holidays. I think if you are in the Northern Hemisphere, you'll be all for it. It's summer holidays and everyone is enjoying their time. And if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, just like I am, you are enjoying the cold. So let's talk holidays, and especially let's talk about different types of holidays. What is your dream holiday? Some people have different choices, and sometimes they can mix up. Some people like beach, sometimes people like nature, other people like culture and history, and there's always those who love shopping. Not me. And what do you do when you choose a holiday? I think these days it is very easy. You can just pick and choose whatever you want to do, and you can basically tailor-made your holiday for yourself. Um, you can also obviously talk to a travel agent that may, set up a full program for you. But obviously, if you want, you can do yourself, and it will work well as well. So, some might like, for example, there's a lot of people that like to go to the beach. So they may choose to go to a certain place and stay in a beach resort and sunbathe all day. Well, that's a choice. But others may prefer nature and may just go and explore, do hiking and things like that because they love the nature. They love to see the plants, the trees, the countryside, and all the goodness that comes with it. Other people may like history and may like to explore the culture of the places they visit, the food, everything. And of course, there will be those who love the shopping trip, and then you have to incorporate that in the trip. For example, I love nature and I also love culture. So if I'm going to book an holiday, definitely I would love to visit museums. I would love to visit any monuments that the place may have. I would love to discover nature, the food, and go around and see spots and see the natural parks, etc., etc. I still have a little bit of beach, so I would choose to have a few days at the beach. Although I would not go for a 100% beach holiday because that's not my cup of tea. I wouldn't like to spend, for example, 2 weeks in a beach resort because I would consider it would be a little bit too boring. So I would like to do a little bit of a mix. Definitely on my holiday, I would not include shopping because I do not like shopping. So that would be something that I would completely take away from my holiday. But there's a lot of people that like it. For example, if they do, they could choose places where they know there's going to be shopping. For example, London has been long time known for shopping, for lots of places where you can shop. New York, even Singapore. There's plenty of places that if you really like your shopping, of course you would like to visit a big city where you can go to all the shopping malls, where you can visit all the shops and you can do your shopping. Sydney, for example. But if you don't like it, of course you're gonna stay away from the big cities and you go and choose another place. If you like the beach, obviously you would love to go to a place with a coastline. Portugal, for example, they have a beautiful coastline and beautiful beaches from north to south. Please bear in mind that not only the Algarve is good for a beach holiday in Portugal, they have beaches from north to south and they are beautiful, absolutely beautiful places that are worth exploring. And if you really love your beach, just take away your mind from the Algarve, which is usually very crowded, and especially at this time of the year is really, really crowded. And you can visit other places in Portugal from north to south, even, and they are very good places. They beautiful, and you can enjoy your day, a much calmer day, less crowded, and you can have peace of mind and have a beautiful time. So I would recommend, for example, and the same in Australia. If you visit Australia, for example, if you come to Sydney, yes, go, for goodness sake, by no means visit Bondi. Yes, it's the most famous beach in Sydney. It's Bondi Beach. But we have so many other beaches around Sydney that are beautiful and you in less crowded and give you a much better experience. Even if you take your train and go to the Central Coast, or if you hire a car and if you stay, or even if you stay in the Central Coast, it's very close to Sydney, and you will experience a great time at the beach. It's all the way through the coast. Well, we are an island after all, so you have beaches all around, and sometimes we just go through those that are the most famous, and then we end up in a very crowded place where everyone goes, and then we find out that that country had beautiful beaches, beautiful places that we could visit. The same for nature. um, Again, I'm going to give you the example of Portugal. Portugal has plenty of natural parks to visit. Unfortunately, with the bushfires, and I know Portugal is again being devastated by bushfires, same as Spain, and unfortunately all around Europe. There might be some parks that may not be able to be open or something like that because of the situation, but there's still plenty of nature and plenty of little villages, little places that you can visit, and there's plenty of nature, plenty of beautiful places you can visit. You know a little bit of the culture, you see the real culture, the real Portuguese culture that sometimes you may not find in big cities like Lisbon or Porto or Coimbra or Leiria, or because they are bigger cities, and obviously it will be different. If you go to the little villages inland, you will experience the real culture of Portugal. You'll experience the huge variety in food. As I already spoke about this in this channel, Portugal has a huge variety when it comes to gastronomy. Every single region has plenty of specific dishes to that region. So you can't even say that Portugal has a national dish, because there are so many that you can say is a national dish, because they are so popular and they are so specific to the country that you cannot name one single dish that you say it's a national dish. There's plenty of them. So if you really love your nature and if you really love your history, just like myself, then, for example, Portugal, it's a handful. Every single town will have something. Every single city will have something. You'll have Romans, you will have Moors, you will have Visigoths, you'll have Celts, you have everything there. So you will have lots of things to explore, lots of museums, lots of monuments. It's really interesting. So, for example, if you are into your history, you can do that too. Same as in Australia. Of course, may not be those medieval monuments, but we have a lot of culture, and that's one of the things. We have more than 40,000 years of culture, because our indigenous cultures have been here and they are the longest continuing civilization on the planet. So it may not be your medieval castle or your I don't know, your Roman ruin. Of course, they did not get here. But you will find, if you want to explore, you will find a lot of very interesting things, like our indigenous cultures, our indigenous food, and what we call the bush tucker, getting foods from the bush, getting the bush tomatoes and all those little things, and learning about those things, that actually those are the real Australia, and it's really interesting to explore. So you like culture, you like nature, please choose this type of thing, because it's really, really, really something that are really interesting to know, and you will definitely have an experience, a very different experience than you may have a thing to have in your life. But of course, if you like the shopping, and as I said, you can always stick to the big cities, and there's always the shopping malls, and you can just go and do whatever you please in that regard. If you like if you're more of a sports person, for example, if you like your surfing, or if you like your hiking, if you like your extreme sports, there's also that type of holidays that you can book in all countries. Most countries will offer that. I think in the end is, in my view, the most important is that you know yourself, know exactly what you want to do, and if there's different tastes within the family, which most of the times are, try to incorporate a little bit of everything in the holiday so it pleases everyone. Otherwise, it would be very pleasant for one person and very unpleasant to others, and that's not fair. So if you have plenty or different tastes in terms of holidays within your family, try to incorporate a little bit of all of everyone's taste in the holiday, or try to do different activities separated. Maybe if one person likes shopping, that person takes one day for their shopping, and the other person may take the day for, I don't know, going to a spa, or staying in the resort, or going to the beach, or going to a museum, whatever, something that they like. And I think that will please everyone, and it will be a good experience for everyone. I think in terms of prices, you can always play with that. We can always shop around and see what offers better pricing and where to go, etc. And in the end, I think the most important thing is that you have a wonderful holiday and that you enjoy yourself. That is my opinion. I think that's the best thing about a holiday, is when you choose right, when you choose what you really want to do, and you have the best time possible. And that's all for today. I hope you really enjoyed this gadget report. I hope you're really planning your next holiday. And you choose wisely, and you really look into things. And I think it's the most important thing I find is that you really need to think outside the box. You really need to think, and especially now with all these issues and sometimes restrictions, etc., etc. If we think outside the box, and we really stay away from that regular thing, that normal thing that everyone goes, that everyone does, if we think outside the box and we choose something different, we may find that we had a beautiful experience, a much better experience, in fact, and that we enjoyed ourselves, knew a little bit about, who knows, a different culture, or even within our country, because sometimes we live in a country, and I know it happened with me in regards to Portugal, and it's happening in regards to Australia. We live in a country, and sometimes there's a lot of things within that country that we don't know about. And if we really think outside the box, and instead of going, let's imagine you're in Portugal, instead of going to your holiday in Algarve, or instead of going to that specific place, if you look around and you choose a different thing, you may find amazing places that you didn't even know existed. You know a little bit about your own country, and you have a great time. Same as in Australia. Instead of going to the same little place, the same thing, if you choose something else, and sometimes go to a little town, you may find amazing things in that little town. No tourists, you may find that it's empty, that it's undiscovered, and you just have way more fun. It just depends on your personality, obviously, and I think that's the main thing here, is that you really need to choose the holiday that caters to your personality and what you like to do. Otherwise, it obviously is not going to work. So I think this is the most important thing. So if you are there and if you have planned, or if you already had gone to a different place that you have never been before, and you decided to think outside the box and choose something different and you had a great time, please share. It's always important to share. Please share with us. Or even if you had chosen a place that you thought it was going to be great and wasn't so great, share as well. We always want to know about your experience. And put a like on the video and subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a new gadget report every week. Before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching. See you next week. Have a lovely one. And next week we'll be talking gadgets again. So have a good week. Thank you. Bye.